How many of you, I hope many of you were able to look at the couple of videos that Kim posted for us uh, that the Florida conference did a couple of years ago on Gallant and Goofus. Raise your hand if you were able to see any of that. I hope you were able to look at that in advance. I can see everybody's paying rapt attention at this point. They did a really funny video that unfortunately sometimes maybe isn't quite so humorous. There are a lot of things that are brought out in the video that we want to avoid, and some things that we want to do especially well. The first thing that's kind of is brought out in the video is that everybody really does need to read the candidates' papers. There's really no shortcuts. It's critical that you both watch their sermon and you look at their Bible study and you read the full report. We also want to remind you that prayer is an important part of the process, remembering to pray for the candidate as you're engaging even with their material. We want you to think about wearing appropriate clothing into the interview. We've established, and we think the proper clothing protocol is professional clothing for that. Sometimes it veers toward a business casual, but we're going to hold the line and invite everyone to think about what would professional clothing look like in our interview setting. We want to invite laptops and other devices to be put down, no cell phones, no iPads. Everything, all the focus should be fully on the candidate. It's important that we not try to coach the candidate during the interview. Oftentimes that's something that we feel led to do, is to give them that the coaching, or give them the answers. The idea is not to give the candidate the answers, is to discern if they have the answers to the questions that we ask. Silence really is acceptable, to give time of silence away from that. This is a professional interview, and therefore we don't want to make jokes and funny comments to sometimes we think we're lessening the stress, but oftentimes it's not really helpful. Each person should vote the way that they feel God is leading them to. It's important that you have the freedom to represent what you think God is leading you to in that. One of the problems that has happened in the past, and we want to avoid at all cost, is comments that we would bring to the process that we take to the restroom or to the break room. And we never know when a candidate or someone else is listening. It is critical that we maintain confidentiality in this process. And what that means is, outside the room, we simply refrain from having conversations with other members of the board, even within our own discernment team. All of that work needs to be done in the room when the candidate is not present. And we really do need to keep that confidentiality at the forefront of our mindset. We know that things will happen. People in our churches will die during interview week. Crisis will happen. But we also know that there are others who are capable of standing in our absence. And so we want to encourage you to be fully present. If at all possible, please make arrangements to be present in the interviews and not be distracted, not be on the phone in the hallway trying to work out the arrangements for the funeral. Be fully present as best that you can. Breaks, those breaks, so the 15-minute break in the middle is designed so please be on time when the interview starts, and be ready to start each time. One of the things the video talks about is, don't be a sore loser. If there's someone you vote to defer someone, the rest of the group votes to approve, we hope that everyone emerges from the discernment process together. Not angry or bitter that you didn't get your way, that everybody agrees that, hey, we're moving forward as a group. When the paperwork has been read, when the interview has been had, it is critical that we destroy those papers. They need to be shredded, not not left. These documents, they have critical information to them, so we want you to properly dispose of the materials when the interviews are over. And then maybe this is the last one is maybe one of the most critical. We want to encourage no social media responses about the interview process. No congratulations, no we're sorry, no the process is flawed and we know how bad this is. We really do think it's critical that as Board of Ordained Ministry members, that we refrain from any social media responses about the outcome of the interviews. And I hope that comes across as gentle, but also as strong as I can possibly make it. It's just not appropriate for us to comment as a Board of Ordained Ministry member about this process on social media, Facebook, Twitter, anything of the like. We want everyone to be pleasant, relaxed. Good eye contact is essential. Your candidate is going to be nervous, and your ability to relate to that person will go a long way in making sure that they're able to offer their very best to the process. Verbal, nonverbal communication is important. Head nods are great when the candidate is going. Those are always really good encouragement for a candidate, and we encourage as much of that as that you can. This one was hard for me, but to remain seated during the entire interview. Some of us like to get up and walk around, but it's really important that we all stay seated during the entirety of the interview process.